again, you're being an activist. I am
That's not appropriate, sir.
Who are you with? What's your name?
That's not an appropriate question for you to ask.
You're going to ask how many questions? You get 3?
You're a stupid son of a bitch.
Welcome to another episode of Friendly Fire, a show dedicated to all things libertarian. That includes candidates for public or party office, bill reviews from a libertarian perspective, and even matters regarding the party itself. Unlike other shows, Friendly Fire exists to be critical and tough, but fair and honest. Today, Tommy Brown III joins me to discuss his run for mayor of Salem, Indiana. So please welcome Tommy to Friendly Fire. Tommy, how are you?
Doing good, DL. You, buddy?
I can't complain whatsoever. It's a great day here in Jacksonville, Florida. So, it's not raining, so that's good. I mean, rain is good, but, it's nice to go outside and enjoy the sun every now and then. So we're doing pretty well here. So let's dive right into this. I know that we've talked before, but maybe somebody is listening and they don't really know who you are or what's going on. So go ahead and give us your elevator pitch, kind of throw down and say, all right, here's who I am and what I'm doing.
Well, I'm Tommy Brown III. This is actually my 5th run for political office. I got started about 15 years ago, matter of fact, 2007. I ran for sheriff in Washington County as a Republican, which I'm sorry about that. And then 2015, I ran for city council as an independent. Mm-hmm. 2018 was the transformation. I joined the Libertarian Party in 2016, county council in 18, commissioner in 22, and now here we are fighting again for liberty, freedom. Well, actually, let me correct that. Civil liberties for civil freedom. Mm-hmm. We're going to go after mayor this time, and this is going to be the run of all runs. For your listeners, DL, I'm going to drop a bomb on you.
Uh-oh.
This is going to be my final campaign. Okay. I've ran, and this will make the 5th of all 5 top spots in the county. I've ran for all 5 of them. To mm-hmm. me, that's enough. Once this is over, if I don't win, I'm going to focus on doing what I like to do. Economics. Mm-hmm. I want to work with the cryptocurrency community a little bit. So, mm-hmm. But yeah, this is going to be my final run for mayor. So, that's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay. And so when you say it's going to be your final run, is there anything that you're doing differently in this particular run that you didn't do in the prior runs? Kind of like all right, this is my last one. I'm giving it even more than I've ever is there anything like that that's going on?
Yeah, actually there's quite a bit.
Okay, let's talk about it.
I feel like this run, I'm being a lot more aggressive than I ever have been before. 2022 was a great run. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. It was fun. There's a big difference in this one because unfortunately I'm running against somebody that I used to consider a friend.
Oh, okay.
Justin and I went to school together. Mm-hmm. We were always close. And then it seemed like that changed when I filed for mayor. And, I have a feeling I know why. But, when you're told not to be cordial towards somebody, well, okay, if that's how you want to roll, that's fine with me.
Right.
But, this one I'm probably a lot more aggressive toward. I'm going after more things because, there's more things, there's more fruit to grab at this one.
Okay. So what are some of the things that you're doing that's making this more aggressive? Because maybe somebody's listening and they're going to run for office or they are running for office and maybe they need a few tips. So what kind of things are you doing?
The first thing that I went after is every town across this republic, and even the counties for that matter, they both have a planning board
Mhm.
and a BZA, which is Business Zoning Association, I think. Both of those boards within the city of Salem are illegal according to state law. They
Okay.
have illegal members that are supposed to be Democrat or Republican.
Mhm.
According to state law, you can only have a certain number of each party. In the last election in the primary, most of the Democrats pulled a Republican ballot.
Mhm.
So right there, according to state law, because they go by the primary here in Indiana,
Mhm.
those people are illegal. So that's the first thing I went after. The second thing that I would tell anybody that's starting or thinking about running,
Mhm.
look at your area's debt. Most states have a debt reporting website.
Mhm.
Here in Indiana, it's called indianagateway.com. You can look up county debt. You can look up city and town debt.
Mhm.
I've dove into that. The city of Salem has got several bonds. They seem to be fascinated with bond loans right now, and I can't figure that out yet. Uh, Currently, there are 7 or 8 bonds that they're paying on.
Mhm.
The last one they took was just late last year. The city decided to take a capital bond project loan for $1.25 million, which I heavily opposed. And I told Mayor Green that, look, you go after this and you do this, I will not support you.
Mhm.
And, I told him, I was like, the economic times are not conducive to taking on more debt.
Mhm.
He didn't listen to me. And, shortly after that city council meeting is when I filed for mayor. And ever since then, it's just kind of been testy between us, because I don't think he understands. I wasn't joking. I wasn't kidding around.
Mhm.
What I said is what I meant. If you do this, I will not support you. And I don't support him. I don't support him at all. Uh, that's just one of several things that he has done, um, that I disagree with. The
Mhm.
other thing that you can do, and you can do this at any level,
Mhm.
make sure that when you're running for office, if you call them out on
Mhm.
something they're doing wrong, and then if you turn around and find out there was a mistake made in your area, go back and fix that.
Okay.
I've had to go back and fix things. I've had to go back and retract things. There's nothing wrong with that, DL.
Right.
Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. It's okay.
Right.
But what sets people apart is a moral attitude and a moral behavior of saying, you know what? I made a mistake. I need to go back and fix that, correct what I done wrong, and
Mhm.
move forward. You don't have to drag it around with you.
Right.
Fix it.
Mhm.
It's that simple. It's just, okay. Just like the illegal boards. I went before city council. I laid out what was wrong. I laid out how to fix it, and they blew it off.
Okay.
Flat blew it off.
Did they say anything at all to give you, did they give some rationale or say hey, we think you're wrong, or did they just completely ignore you?
All I was told by the attorney is, well, we'll consider your recommendation.
Okay.
Okay, so you're only going to consider state law? That's interesting.
All right. And how have the citizens, I presume that you're out beating feet, talking to people, how are they receiving you and the things that you're championing right now?
Actually, we've had a really good community response.
Mhm.
I've had several people that for years voted Republican in November for mayor, and
Mhm.
they have decided to support me.
Mhm.
My presentation at that city council meeting has actually reignited the local Democrat Party. So the mayor's race is not a 2-horse race. We've actually got 3 guys running for mayor.
Mhm.
And I've had several Democrats tell me that, hey, Tommy, if it hadn't been for you, we might not be running. And, and I take that as a compliment. That's huge.
You said running. Do you mean voting?
No, actually running.
Oh, so you have inspired people to run for mayor as well.
Well, the guy that's running on the Democrat ticket ran the last time.
Okay.
The statement was made is they would not run anybody unless they had a full ticket.
Oh, okay.
Evidently, I guess the illegal board's presentation got them fired up, because that's what I'm hearing from a lot of Democrats. I think they've got all but one office covered.
Mhm.
And the last I heard is they had somebody that was potentially going to file for that final office. So
Okay.
anytime I can do that, that's a
Right.
that's a compliment.
So who, not who, how many people are running for mayor? Is it a Libertarian, Republican, and a Democrat as well?
Yes.
Okay. And then you mentioned that there are other positions that people are running for. So what are some of the other positions that are available?
Everybody in city government is up for reelection. That would be city council district.
Yeah. Lay that out a little bit more for me, because I'm not familiar with
Right.
your.
So we have city council district 1. That'll
Okay.
be up for grabs. City council district 2, which I might note, is opposed by a libertarian. That's also a 3-way race, because there's a Democrat there.
Okay.
Then you have the mayor's seat, which I covered, which is a 3-way race.
Mhm.
Clerk treasurer, that currently will be probably a head-up race, Republican and Democrat. Then you have city council district 3. That is a 2-way race between a Republican and Democrat.
Mhm.
Then you have city council district 4, which actually the Republican in that race is a very close friend of mine.
Mhm.
Randy Lee and I talk probably 2 or 3 times a week. And then the final one is we have a city council at large, which
Okay.
represents the entire city.
Right.
And that's going to be a Republican Democrat head off. And that's another really good friend of mine, Roger Pennington. Roger and I talk quite a bit too. The Libertarian, I forgot, and I'm sorry, she'll get me for this one. Tina Ransom is running for City Council District 2.
Okay.
She is in a 3-way race against a Republican and Democrat. This is actually her maiden voyage as a Libertarian. She's never run for office before.
Awesome.
I think it's fantastic. I tell her all the time, I was like, you're doing something very, very historic. For that matter, I'm the first Libertarian to file for mayor and run for mayor in the city of Salem in over 200 years of history.
Right. Awesome. So I was writing this down so I can kind of get a gist of what your city is facing in terms of libertarian, or what we might call like liberty friendly or what have you. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 district seats. You have the mayor's seat. You got an at-large seat, and then you've got a clerk. You said clerk treasurer, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a total of 7 seats that are up. Now, is that all of them, or are there others that just aren't up for election right now?
That's 2023 is nothing but a citywide race.
Okay, gotcha. So there's 7 available, period.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's 7 offices up for grabs here in the city.
Gotcha. And then there's 2 libertarians, right?
Yes, sir.
And then it sounded like you said that there are 2 Republican friendlies.
Yes. Both Randy Lee and Roger Pennington and I have been friends for a long time. Roger and I go back 20 plus years. He was with the fire department here in town for forever.
Right.
I've got 25 years of emergency management history behind me. And, a lot of those years, Roger was right there beside me. So, Roger and I have, it's not like we've never worked together before. Randy Lee and I are good friends. Matter of fact, his father-in-law lives right across the street from me.
Mhm.
So, between myself and Tina and Randy Lee and Roger, we've got 4 people that all 4 know each other. We know each other really well. We talk on a regular basis. And, I feel like if we all 4 get in, um, we can do some really positive things.
I mean, it sounds like you'll have the majority.
Pretty much, yes. Yeah. Now, the only thing is during a vote, the mayor does not get to vote unless it's a
Right.
tie.
Right. Right.
But those 3 pretty much, when I've heard them talk and just kind of sit back and listen, I'm like, you know what, this is a dream, because
Right.
you normally don't get people to agree like that.
Right. Well, it sounds like you, if I'm gauging this correctly, because you said there's a libertarian in District 2 and then there's a friendly in District 4, and then you've got 1 and 3. So it sounds like you could easily have some ties. And so if you were the mayor, you could be the tiebreaker, maybe more than once.
Oh yeah, absolutely. With Roger Pennington sitting at the at large seat,
Hmm.
if we all get in, Roger will be sitting at the at large. That's going to be a big help because Roger basically represents everybody
Hmm.
in the city. He's citywide, being the at large.
Right.
I really like where Randy's sitting in District 4. I know a lot of people in District 4. There's several business owners that live in District 4. There's several business owners that live in District 2.
Right.
Well, I mean, they're all over the city. But when you look at it, man, having those 3 with you as mayor would, tell you what, that would definitely be a hard combo to knock out.
Right. So and how big is Salem?
We've got a population right now of about a little over 6,000 people.
Okay. And trying to think of, when it comes to like the local businesses, do you have a decent amount of local business support?
The local businesses try not to get involved.
Okay.
And I respect that. I don't hound them.
Hmm.
I'm not one of these people that like to go knocking on business doors and saying, "Hey, I'm running for mayor." They've got their own problems to do. They've got
Hmm.
their own problems to solve. There is a few that have come out and told me, "Hey, you know what, Tommy, we'll support you. We've known you all your life. You'll do a great job."
Right.
The only thing that I am doing, matter of fact, I just finished up this morning. I've got about 23 scheduled posts in my campaign group that are all dealing with my economic policy.
Okay.
It's what I done is I'm going to release them in live videos. I'm going to do that with my party chairman, Rhonda Green. We're going to do these videos in modules, probably starting in July.
Hmm.
We're going to let Independence Day get by, and then we'll start cutting these live videos where I can explain it on video. But my economic policy, that and my public safety, are my 2 biggest. Lengthwise. Now, I'm not talking importance. I'm talking just in depth. Those are the 2 biggest that I've got.
Right.
Everything ties back to your economics. If your economics is not sound, you're not going to go forward.
Right. Okay. And let me, I imagine that you probably have a relatively small affiliate, or maybe not even. Do you have an affiliate out there? Like a
Yes, we do.
oh, you
Washington
do.
County has its own chapter.
Okay.
There
Is it by
is,
county?
yeah, it's a county party.
Gotcha.
Currently, there is a whole whopping 6 of us.
Right. 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 No, I mean, I totally get it. I totally get it. I wasn't sure if you had one by city or by
No,
county, or how do you
yeah,
guys broke it up?
it's county office or a county party.
Okay.
There is only, I think there's only 3 or 4 of us that live within the city. Most of them are out in the county, and
Mhm.
it's nice. My party chair, Rhonda Green, is just awesome. Rhonda helps me out so much.
Mhm.
Her husband Max is He is what I call a state code guru. I mean, this man can quote state code by memory.
Wow.
And it's nice to have a guy like that in your corner sometimes.
Right.
And Max and Rhonda helped me out a lot with the illegal board presentation.
Hmm.
Max has helped me out immensely, staying on top of state code as it changes. He actually orders every year. He orders a new code book for the state of Indiana every year on his own.
Nice. All right, we got a few people like that in the in the party down here. I believe. I know they keep up with the Robert's Rules of Order for sure, and then I think they also keep up with the local or the state statutes and sometimes the local ones. Probably more so with the city that they live in. So, what's been the reception from the state party? Has that been pretty solid as well?
State party has been phenomenal.
Mhm.
Our state chair, Evan McMahon,
Mhm.
matter of
Good
fact,
guy.
he sent me a card right after I ran for commissioner thanking me and encouraged me to keep going. Our ninth district rep, Darren Kinzer, Darren has actually endorsed me for mayor. So, I'm getting a lot of a good amount of state support. I know a lot of them are busy right now
Mhm.
with the governor and the presidential race getting ready to set foot. On that note, I'm glad you brought that up, DL. I about forgot this.
Uh-oh.
I am the only mayor candidate currently running that has a presidential level endorsement.
I see.
Thanks to Mike Termott, who is running for the Libertarian nomination for president.
Mhm.
About 3 weeks ago, Mike came out and endorsed me for mayor. So
Okay.
that
Congratulations on that.
thank you. That was quite a surprise. Mike and I have talked quite a bit. We've come to be really good friends. Mike is actually going to make a visit to Salem in August. And I don't know what we're going to do, but we're probably going to get into trouble somewhere.
All right.
But no, that was very nice of Mike. I really appreciate that. Right now, as far as endorsements go, I've got 4,
Mhm.
and I'm working on a couple more. I know you're in that mix for an endorsement. I think I've sent you a request. Christy Mowry out of Texas, I've sent her a request. There's quite a few people that I've messaged about
Mhm.
endorsing me, and I feel that's important.
Right.
Yeah,
And
we're in
and
the
that was
same
just
part.
you were just looking for a written one, or was I supposed to do a video?
Either way, buddy,
Oh,
whatever you want to
well,
do, man.
so maybe I'll do a video then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll step up the game a little bit. I mean, it's kind of hard to say you're a podcast guy and then you can't do a video. So let's step that up. So look forward to that coming sometime soon here. You got a long ways to go before when is the election?
November. Yeah,
November.
we are.
Okay, so I got a
We
couple
are.
days.
We're just getting started, buddy.
Gotcha. So I
Uh,
have a few days to get this out to you. Awesome.
oh yeah. And I had told Christy and a couple others that are on my staff. I was like, I said, if you want to do it before July, that's great. Because after the 4th, what I'm doing at the suggestion of my campaign manager, Mr. Alan Bishop, we're going to use the month of July as a month for public citizen endorsements.
Hmm.
We're going to open that up and we're going to let the public endorse. In 22 DL, I carried 15 endorsements through that race. The majority of those were citizens.
Mm.
And it was fantastic, to see people rally behind what they felt was right was just phenomenal
Hmm.
the last time. If we do anything close to that this time, being that it's a city race, man, talk about a confidence booster.
Right, right. Absolutely. So when you're out and about, what are people saying? Like in general, like what is the vibe that you're getting from the people that you talk to? Are a lot of them? I know earlier you kind of said like, hey, people are receiving, some of your things. Well, are they talking about other issues as well? Or is there anything that's coming up and you're like, yep, I'm going to be addressing that as well?
A lot of the people that I'm talking to are very concerned about the city debt level.
Okay.
I really think, and I think that comes from, you hear all the time about the national debt level. I've seen a thing from Bitcoin Magazine this morning on Twitter. Do you realize that the national debt has went up $20 trillion in 7 years?
Right. I mean, I wasn't
20,
aware of the specific
yeah,
number, but I don't
20
doubt it.
trillion in 7 years.
Mhm.
And I think what people are doing is they're like, you know what? Wait a minute. If the national debt's over 31 trillion, what's my city in debt to?
Mhm.
I was the one that broke it, that our county is almost $18 million in debt. So, the debt is the big thing. They're really worried about the job situation. For anybody that doesn't know anything about Salem, we used to be, when I was growing up, 70s and 80s,
Mhm.
we were a manufacturing mecca.
Mhm.
There was a lot of wood fabrication going on here in Salem. Anybody familiar with baby cribs? Big name in the 80s was Childcraft.
Okay.
Childcraft cribs were made right here in Salem and shipped around the world. Anybody out there that done construction in the 80s and always was breaking hammer handles or sledgehammer handles? Well, back in the 80s, a big handle company was OP Link. They were right here in Salem.
Okay.
Matter of fact, they are actually mentioned. If any of your viewers watch Barnwood Builders, I do believe it's in season 2. They take some nailing board to a guy, hand him a hatchet that they found in a cabin, and the
Mhm.
guy actually mentions they reached out to a friend at OP Link,
Mhm.
and I'm like, man, that's right here in my hometown.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the other thing, that they are concerned about jobs because, I hate to say it, DL, but the poverty level here in Salem is over 23%.
Wow.
I do believe the last statistic I've seen, I think we're like 79% above the state average.
Wow.
And,
So do you have a plan to tackle that if you were elected mayor?
actually, yeah, I'm glad, man, you're asking all the good questions
I
today.
try. I
Thank
do
you.
my
Thank
best.
you. Yes, I do. Of course, the first thing we've got to do is we've got to get our economic situation secure. We cannot be making half thought, last minute decisions economically. You've got to watch what's going on nationally, and
Mhm.
you've got to watch what's going on in the world through economics. Thank God the Fed decided to pause for a month, because I'm telling you what, these interest rate hikes are killing us.
Right.
They don't realize it, but they are. They're killing us. They kill small towns.
Right.
That's the first thing. Once we get the debt to where I'm comfortable, then I have an aggressive plan to go after jobs of tomorrow. You know,
What does that look like?
solar, hydrogen. I would be comfortable with having a hemp processing plant come to Salem or Washington County. Those 3 industries right there are jobs of the future.
Mhm.
That's where a lot of things are going to go. Salem is in a unique spot because we are strategically placed in amongst a lot of military.
Mhm.
And if anybody watches the world currently right now, defense jobs are not going to go away anytime soon.
Right.
So, if we can get some defense jobs in here, maybe some manufacturing.
Mhm.
But the other side of that is, I want to see some solar industry come in. Hydrogen's going to be the fuel of tomorrow. And, hemp is starting to make a comeback. It's been 175 years too long. But, DL, that's what I'm looking for. But, regardless of what I tell you, the bottom line is government never created a job. The private sector creates jobs.
Right.
So we are going to be aggressively reinvesting into small business. Alan Jackson had a song several years ago called The Little Man. And unfortunately, in a lot of towns, the little man's forgotten. I haven't forgot the little man. Never will, never have. We need to be investing back into who built Salem, the ones that have been here from the start. Those guys are the ones that deserve the tax abatements. Those guys are the ones that, they go to work every day praying that they make enough money to put food on their table. I'm also looking at starting what I call the abbreviation for it is CJAC, but it actually stands for Citizens Job Action Committee.
Okay.
It's going to be made up of a committee of citizens, and they are going to be encouraged, whether they are out in the area, whether they're on vacation. If you see a job or a factory or a business that you want to see move to Salem, drop the information off at my office. We'll start working on it. We're going to work on it because DL, I firmly believe that people know better what they want in their community than I ever could. Yeah, I've got my ideas, but there again, it's not about me. It's about the people. And if the people want something bad enough, then I feel like I'm obligated to have myself, City Council, Chamber of Commerce, the Economic Growth Partnership. We need to get busy and work toward those goals. Or you know what? We're not serving the people and we're not being true public servants.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's an interesting idea in, saying, all right, I've got a plan and I'm going to try to execute this plan. And then once you elect me, that plan can change based on citizen input. And I feel like that's not really done very, very often. Like we're not so here in Jacksonville, let me tell you, it's not the mayor. It's actually the city council. A lot of people will go out to city council and they'll speak their piece. And a lot of times you see city council, they're, looking on their phones, kind of playing, working on their laptop or, their computer there. They're just, they might be listening casually. And I believe that our public comment time is 90 minutes. And it just seems like a lot of people just go out there to just talk into the wind. Right. And so I can appreciate the fact that you're saying, like, look, not only do I have a plan, but I'm willing to hear from my citizens after that, because who knows, maybe there'll be something that I need to address, that comes up after the fact. And I'm open to hearing that.
Absolutely. A lot of my economic policy, DL, come from Ross Perot. May he rest in peace. I've taken a lot from Ross, and I've just developed it. It started in 22 when I ran for commissioner. That's where a lot of that economic policy came from. And what we was able to do is we was able to modify that and pare it down to where it would work for Washington County. And then we pared it down even more to where that same plan will work for Salem. But you hit the nail right on the head. We are going to be flexible. We're going to be mobile. We're going to be ready to go. And if a citizen has a better idea than we do, man, okay, fine. Let's shift gears. Let's go this direction because that sounds like a better plan than what we ever had.
Right. Okay. So I can't let you get out of here without having a tough question. Okay.
Go for it.
So we're gonna hit you hard. Not just kidding, not hard. On your Facebook page, you have a Facebook group for your candidacy, and it lists you as the Libertarian Conservative for mayor.
Yes, sir.
So I know that libertarians can get very contentious about terminology. So I'm just curious, why list both of those rather than just one? Like, why not say just Libertarian for mayor?
Because just libertarian doesn't cover me.
Okay.
I'm a broad person.
Okay.
No, which I told you the truth there, but that conservative, that is not only part of me, but that is an ode to a man that I respect probably more than anything in the world. And that man was Barry Goldwater.
Okay.
Goldwater was other than Ronald Reagan, Barry Goldwater was the most libertarian Republican I've ever heard talk.
Okay.
He opened his mouth and it was like libertarianism just blew out of his mouth. So yes, I am conservative. And, yes, that does fit me. But, those two words, not only do they describe me, the conservative, that's an ode to Barry Goldwater. The libertarian is for a guy that I respected probably more and still respect him, even though he's gone out of the Libertarian Party. And that's John McAfee. John taught me a lot just by listening to him. His cyber,
the wild stuff, right?
No, we're talking just pure cybersecurity.
Right. Okay.
That's where a lot of my cyber policy comes from, is John McAfee. So, yes, while that does describe me, I hold to the values of 1776. I hold to the founding documents.
Mhm.
Those two guys are probably two of the most influential people that I've had. Ross Perot is a really close third in that.
Okay.
But that's why I coined that libertarian conservative. Because I do. I feel like with what what I've learned from Barry Goldwater and just all around political stuff, and then what I learned from John McAfee on cyber. That's why that is there. That is an ode to both of those guys. May they both rest in peace. The world lost two great men when they lost both of them.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. So what else, what have I missed that maybe we need to discuss? What do people that come on this podcast need to hear that maybe they haven't heard just yet?
Well, the one thing that a lot of people don't know, and I divulged this on Larry Sharp's show, Libertarians Drinking Coffee and Diners.
Right. Yep.
I have got an extensive, serious health history. I've had a total of 4 spinal fusions starting in 2012. I've survived 2 heart attacks. I've got migraines that would put a horse down. And, despite my body telling me and my doctors telling me, dude, you got to quit. No, I don't. The old saying, I'll rest when I'm dead. Well,
right.
That's a true statement with me. That's my plan. I will rest when I'm dead. And it's like I told Larry. 1, I love this republic too much. I love my county too much. And I love my city too much. And if not me, who? So while, yes, this is my final run, this is going to be one of the most flamboyant, hopefully one of the most delightful. And regardless of the outcome, DL, my name is going to go in the history books as the first libertarian to file for mayor.
Awesome. Well, I think that's amazing, and I congratulate you on that. We'll definitely be checking back in with you to find out how things are going, or at least, I don't know, we'll see here. We are in June, so you've got July, August, September, October. So maybe somewhere around October, we will see about checking back in and just kind of see where you are, what the vibe is, what kind of things have maybe changed over the last few months, and just kind of get a sense of where this election might go come November, because it would be great to see you get elected as mayor and then start implementing some of these changes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's the ultimate goal is to win. But like I said, regardless of the outcome, if I do turn it up short and don't get it, I'm still in the history books. So, being mayor is just going to kind of be icing on the cake. But man, listen, I appreciate you having me on again, man. It's always fun to be on with you.
Right.
And I always look forward to the hard question at the end. I really look forward to that.
It's an interesting challenge because what I found out, I set out to say, I'm going to interview as many candidates as I can, and I'm going to ask them tough questions, raise the bar, make it difficult. And then I found out that it's actually harder. At least it is very difficult on some of the local level runs that people are involved in. And the reason for that is because I'm not in Salem. So I don't really know anything about Salem. So it's kind of hard to come up with questions, because a lot of the things that are relatively easy and common, they're more for like the state level or maybe federal level, right? There's a lot of things that are in the news that just simply don't affect you as the mayor, at least not,
Mhm.
not something that you can necessarily campaign on. So
Right.
it can be a bit of a challenge sometimes. And, so I enjoy bringing, even the local candidates from other states on, so that I could talk to them, so that I can get better and, produce a better show, so that when you guys come on, people want to see it, and they want to see like, hey, does this person have the chops, if you will, to be, like in this case, the mayor, or, maybe another case to be the city council candidate. So I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show. And I'm gonna close the show out. I'm gonna kick you backstage here real quick. I'm gonna close out the show, and then I'll be back there, and we'll chit chat for a minute or two. So don't go anywhere,
Okay.
and good luck on your run. And by the way, before I kick you out, where can people find you?
You can be on Facebook. It's Tommy Brown III, 1776 Libertarian Conservative for mayor. It's a public group. Come and join DL and I in the group. DL's in there, and normally there's always something going on in that group. I promise you. And like I said, we're just getting ready to get starting to release some policy. So anybody that sees this video, if you're interested, come join us. We appreciate the support.
Awesome. And I will make sure to add the link in the show notes. But for now, let me get to that closing, Tommy, and you just hold tight for just a moment. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. We try to bring on as many candidates as we can to talk to them, no matter what level they're running at. So it doesn't matter whether you're running for a local city position that's in a smaller city, or whether you're trying to run for a federal office like Congress, or maybe even run for president of the United States. It doesn't matter. If you're a libertarian and an actual, like, you need to be a member of the Libertarian Party, actively running, then let me know, or if you know somebody, let me know, because I want to talk to them. But for now, I want you to find audio episodes at libertydad.com. You can also find archived video episodes at youtube.libertydad.com. You can also connect with me at Liberty Dad on Facebook, Liberty Dad Pod on Twitter, or just go old school and email me, libertydadpodcast@gmail.com, because you know what? I'd love to hear from you. But for now, I want you to remember, if you're a champion of liberty, your business is people and your product is liberty. Have a great week.